the thing that most people are talking about in regards to Sarah Palin's new book is her charges against other campaign aides. Well, part of the problem here is that, according to sources inside the McCain campaign, it is largely what they call, quote, fiction. Now, we're going to tell you some of the stories, but first let me tell you the reaction. Steve Schmidt, who takes the brunt of her accusations in the book, who was the campaign manager for John McCain, has come out and told reporters that her recounting of events is, quote, total fiction. But, of course, he's the one being attacked. We should go to other aides. Well, another McCain aide who says that she or he, quote, really liked Palin, was on Palin's side, if you believe this anonymous source, and says that what Palin says in the book did not happen, that in fact, quote, it was blatantly and absolutely inaccurate. Aide number 3 for John McCain says she played fast and loose with the truth in the book. Aide number 4 calls it revisionist and self-serving fiction. Former McCain strategist John Weaver calls it petty and pathetic score settling. So, look, if you're predisposed to believing Palin, you're going to say, oh, yeah, all those people are sour grapes. The only one telling the truth here is Sarah Palin. All of the rest of them are lying because she showed them who was boss and she didn't take their crap. If you're a person who doesn't like either side, like me, I'm fairly objective. I don't really like any of the other McCain aides, and I don't agree with Sarah Palin. Well, I mean, it is 5-1. Doesn't mean that they're right, but you get to seeing an overall picture of a lot of people saying, well, that ain't how the went down, whether I liked her or I didn't like her. Okay, so what are the things that are in dispute? She says that Schmidt once cursed around her daughter Piper, used the F word. First of all, I'm the bad guy. If someone lets out a curse in front of a kid, of course you shouldn't do that, and somebody should scream, what about a children? But, you know, in my mind, I'm going to get beyond it. I don't think kids are as fragile as some other people think. I don't think they're going to shatter on sight if they hear an F word. But other aides to McCain's campaign say, unequivocally not true. He never used profanity, and he's also conservative, remember, and he's also got kids, and that he never used any kind of profanity in front of Piper or in front of Palin at all. But the part of this, the reason I believe the Schmidt camp in this one is because this is what Palin does all the time. She used the kids, you know, as a defense shield, you know. She, said the F word. No, not around me. I don't care about that. I can take it. But in front of my kids. I mean, it's her favorite tactic. She uses it at every opportunity. And then she'll turn around and tell people, I can't believe you brought my kids into this. So, you know, textbook Sarah Palin. Other things. About the wardrobe. She says, oh, they forced that $150,000 worth of clothes on me. I didn't want it at all. They said I had to wear it. Oh, come on, Sarah. Come on, no one believes that. Come on. Please. Every other source from the McCain camp said, we were trying to get Rayner under control. We're like, no, please don't buy that. And 1, we don't have the money. 2, it's going to look gaudy and ridiculous. And she's like, step aside. I'm the vice presidential candidate. I just, come on. She's so unbelievable on this side. It's always her word against every other person on that side. And that side is the Republican side. Why do they want to make all this stuff up about her? It doesn't make any sense. All right, so then on the issue of how she got tricked by those fake callers who pretended to be Nicolas Sarkozy, and remember that video where she's like, "Oh, it's great to hear from you, Nicolas." No, she didn't say Nicolas, you know, and she got tricked. And apparently, Steve Schmidt called her up and yelled at her and said, "How could anyone be that stupid?" Now, his denial on this one is totally weak sauce. So this one happened. His supporters say, oh, no, that's totally not true. He never called her. He emailed her. Okay, that's not much of a denial. So he wrote in an email, how can anyone be that stupid? Okay, so score 1 for Palin. Okay, and then, oh, by the way, on the charge of cursing in front of Piper, one of the aides called the charge otherworldly. In other words, I don't know where the hell that came from. It came from another world. And then we have the issue here of her diet. Apparently she was on some sort of Atkins diet. And after a while, the campaign got nervous that maybe her hunger was losing her to lose concentration, and that's why she couldn't answer any questions, at least answer them in an intelligible way. So they went and talked to her. They're like, you know, maybe you should grab a bite to eat every once in a while, right? And apparently she was obsessed with how she appeared. So she chose to sacrifice coherence for the sake of appearance. God, that stuff rings true. And I'm telling you, stuff that doesn't ring true, I'm telling you right away, right? But, oh, God, the idea that you would go bundle an interview when you're running for vice president, I don't know if it was because she was hungry. My guess is actually the McCain aides were making excuses for her. I mean, I was hungry, I forgot who Hamas is? I don't think so, right? I was hungry, so I forgot a single Supreme Court decision to talk about? No, right? But she didn't let them make those excuses, and she was offended and outraged. How can you get into my diet? And then there's another story here, okay, and this one rings true, again, from Sarah Palin. She says that the campaign tried to control her every move, and they didn't want her talking to the press because they thought she couldn't handle it. And apparently they gave orders to some of the handlers like Tracy Schmidt and Tucker Eskew to block her way if she tries to go back and talk to the reporters on the plane. They're like, physically block her way. Don't let her get near the reporters. I totally believe Sarah Palin's recounting of that story. Okay, because if I was the McCain camp, I'd be like, no. Jump in front of her to make sure she doesn't talk to any more reporters after the tremendous damage she already, inflicted upon the campaign. And the list goes on and on. So you get a sense of where McCain aides and Sarah Palin stand now. Some people are going to look at this book and they're going to believe the stuff in it. I feel so sad for them. So sad.
Watch the live show at theyoungturks.com.